So James DeGale has signed with Eddie Hearn and his Matchroom Sport promotional outfit. His next fight will be on the undercard of the Froch Groves rematch, and that will be against Brandon Gonzalez. And that fight will be an IBF super middleweight final eliminator. So the winner of DeGale against Gonzalez will definitely fight the winner of Froch Groves, the rematch, unless that person decides to vacate. And that fight will take place in the fall or the autumn, whatever you want to call it. It will probably take place around October, November time this year. There was talk, obviously, that DeGale was going to fight Saki Obika. That's obviously not happening now. His now ex-promoter Mick Hennessy has said that he's going to pursue legal action against James DeGale. He claims that DeGale's still tied to a contract to him and that he can't just leave like this. He was in a long-term contract. I previously assumed, I gave James DeGale the benefit of the doubt, and I assumed that he was smart enough to not break ties with Hennessy if he still had promotional obligations. Because the last thing you want as a fighter is to get dragged down into a legal battle with anyone, because it can keep you out of the ring and it can make your situation even worse. So I gave DeGale the benefit of the doubt and assumed, I said it in my previous video about this subject, when I found out that he left Mick Hennessy, I assumed he must have left on maybe not amicable terms, but the right legal footing. But according to Hennessy, he hasn't. According to Mick Hennessy, James DeGale has contractual obligations to him and his Hennessy Sports outfit, and he'll be seeking legal action against DeGale and also against any promoter, in the statement that he made, any promoter or any third party that assists DeGale in breaking that contract. Now, Mick Hennessy is a small promoter, so he's not going to be able to go through a lengthy legal process. He just doesn't have the money for that. He's not like a Frank Warren who can take on the British board and whatnot. He can't do that. So if he really is going to issue legal proceedings and see it through to its ultimate conclusion, then he's only going to do that if he has an extremely good case and if he firmly believes that he's definitely going to win the case. If he feels like he can't really win the case, or the case is 50-50, he'll probably just drop it. Because like I say, he don't have the money or the resources to be fighting long drawn out court cases with former fighters of his. He just don't have them kind of resources. So I'm guessing he'll probably have to drop it if his case isn't that strong. But as for DeGale, big fight for him against Brandon Gonzalez on the undercard of Froch Groves. That's a big event. I mean, it'll be such a big change for James DeGale, because when he was with Mick Hennessy, he was fighting in front of a handful of people, 4,000 people in shopping centers, or what you would call shopping malls in the States. That's where James DeGale's been fighting for his past few fights. I saw an interview with him, I believe it was on Seconds Out or IFL TV, and he was saying that he's been getting depressed the last year, and he was even thinking of taking a part-time job to supplement his income from boxing, because he's been earning so little with Mick Hennessy. So this break from Hennessy's been on the cards for a long time, and he's already been with Frank Warren, so it was unlikely he was going to go back to Frank Warren. So most people expected him to sign with Eddie Hearn. That was going to be the logical thing to do. And Eddie Hearn's already got a plan for him, as I just mentioned. The winner, if he manages to beat Brandon Gonzalez, he goes on to face the Froch Groves winner. Now, the only way this could backfire for DeGale, really and truly, because, the legal ramifications aside, the only way this could backfire for DeGale is if he loses to Brandon Gonzalez. Because apparently, when he was with Mick Hennessy, he had a guaranteed shot at Saki Obika. So with Eddie Hearn, he don't have a guaranteed shot at the title. He's got a guaranteed final eliminator on a very big stage, and he'll probably be getting more money for this Brandon Gonzalez fight than he would have been getting for the actual shot at Saki or Beaker, I'm guessing. Because Beaker don't have a tremendous amount of fans. And DeGale's been fighting in shopping centres and whatnot in front of a small audience. So he probably wouldn't have got a lot of money for fighting Saki or Beaker. He's probably going to get more money fighting Brandon Gonzalez in front of 80,000 fans on the Froch Groves undercard. Anyway, that remains to be seen. Brandon Gonzalez, good fighter, man. You know, he's a good, solid fighter. It's definitely not an easy walkover or nothing like that for James DeGale. He's a very, very solid fighter. Nothing spectacular, don't get it twisted. Nothing spectacular, but he is a good, solid fighter. Still undefeated, and remains to be seen what's going to happen when he faces James DeGale in the ring. I suspect James DeGale will probably win. Yeah, I'll definitely pick him to win, but you never know what can happen in boxing. But drop your comments below. Let me know how you feel about this move by James DeGale. Do you think that Mick Hennessy is going to pursue James DeGale legally? Do you think he'll win? And how do you feel about James DeGale's upcoming fight on the undercard of Groves Froch, the rematch? Yeah, just leave your comments below and let me know about everything I've talked about in this video, what your views are. Yeah, this is Hatman. I'm out.